are suggestions, they're not the final decisions, but based on last year, we noticed that there were projects in the parks, projects that dealt with the appearance of the city, recreation and sports, public spaces, transportation, and that includes...
My name's James McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
In the next 2 minutes, what's going on? Somebody from each group, or several of you, the 5 that you reported, what's really going on in the place where you think they belong. Now, if there's no place, just hold that.
My name is Lorenzo Blake. I am on the steering committee for Hartford Decides, which is a participatory budgeting project here in the city of Hartford. This is year 2, and this is the first of our public meetings where the community comes out, gives their ideas on how to improve the city of Hartford.
Trying to figure out how to incentivize
Or even how do you define it? Because if you have a neighborhood that's middle class, they have
I don't mean to be a broken record, but they did it in, they did it in Brooklyn too. And it was always Bed-Stuy, everyone. Always. Greenest block in Hartford. Greenest block in Hartford. So you give everybody, maybe even have a pot of grants that goes out or something, but $1,000 a piece. And then you give an award to the one that wins the greenest block in Hartford. So, you do the press conference, you say this one, and you do the top 3 or whatever, but you recognize...
It could be the trees and the flowers.
It's about trees, it's about plants in the yard.
Is that about green as in solar power?
No.
That's what my concern was.
No. I mean beautification. I mean, it's about plants, it's about...
The program is funded through the capital improvement funds through the city of Hartford. And what happens here is that the public, the residents of Hartford, come out, they give their ideas on ways to improve, enhance the city of Hartford that we all love so much.
Open up a city block, $100 per block.
I had an idea then because we did this. We did this back in the early '60s, but it was in public housing in Rice Heights. The best lawn, in the entire public housing project. It created this annual competition who had the nicest lawn, that sort of thing. So, but it was all public housing, so you're not competing against.
Like I said, you could do a seating fund or something where the block applies, gets $200 or whatever to get started. I mean,
There's different ways of doing it.
and honestly, you could also, by the way, you could also, by the way, stack the committee that chooses it if you want to go that way. But I'm not one for subverting democracy or anything.
NRGs could be involved.
Or that,
NRGs could be involved.
or that could be how you designate like the guidelines to it. It might be
How big is a block?
not just how big is the block, but the award might be based on least investment. So that way
We
you
have
can
3
kind of
different
regulate.
sessions. There will be one at Arroyo Center on December the 2nd, and then there will also be one on the 7th at Parker Memorial Community Center. And at all 3 of these sessions, what happens is that the community comes out, gives ideas on what they think the city needs to be improved.
Location? Okay.
Oh, no, not, I'm just talking about, I'm sorry.
For, say,
Directly next door, there's a house that's boarded up. It's been boarded up for, I know personally I've seen it boarded up for 3 years. Nothing's being done with it. And that would be, I know that the Salvation Army sometimes offers their space, but sometimes they're not available because of the programs that they run. And if there was a property right next door that people could meet at, or that the Salvation Army could be that safe haven right next door, I think that would be one example. But I would suggest maybe a Y would be safety and community engagement. It will give those neighborhoods the opportunity to have that safe space where they know they can come and meet and do the business that they're there to do, and it would be convenient for them in their neighborhood. So I'm going to say community engagement. Safety. And convenience. I know I'm spelling it wrong, but we'll do the best we can. So, do we feel that these words kind of sum up all that? Food? Well, I think that falls under health. Let's move on. Artists and other people that make or build stuff that they want to sell, kind of like a swap meet or a flea market. They would have a permanent place here in the city of Hartford to do that. And the idea was, when I first heard it proposed at one of these meetings, was that we would take like maybe the warehouses over on Walnut Street that are relatively close to the downtown area,
Right.
renovate it so that it's a space that could be used for this purpose.
Facilities were incorporated with community, had a little bit of community access, so that way, there's a little bit more of police and community interaction through, instead of just going to the YMCA, maybe you go to a center, a police center, right, and you're using a police gym, and something of that nature, so that like there's more of an interaction.
Right, I did. PAL did a lot, but they're completely maxed out. They can't house any more kids. They're just maxed out.
Yeah, last year there was a proposal to invest and improve the auditorium space there, because allegedly there was money to upgrade the PAL facility that's off of Albany Avenue.
Has anybody suggested a permanent space for performing artists to be available to give presentations and rehearsals? But
Permanent space,
yeah.
other than what currently exists?
Well, I don't know. Do any exist? Do you have any? Does the city have any performance space? Any space for performing artists?
That's not.
You're talking about the Hartford stage?
No, but by the train station there's an artist gallery.
Oh,
that's visual. I'm talking about
Performing artists.
What about the space?
Performance space. It's a space for performing artists to perfect their craft. They can have rehearsals. They can have, you know what I mean? And if it is an auditorium, then they need to be able to practice. You have dancers I don't know if an auditorium is going to be good for dancers. You need an open space. So you know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying.
So no, I think it's a great idea. So the question is, how do we impact that in the confines of Hartford Decide, which is $25,000 to $50,000, city-owned, a thing
by the public.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that. I mean, I wouldn't have any idea.
So let's table it then. And let's see if there are any other ideas. Other thoughts, ideas, because we're running out of time. My facilitators are giving me the eyes.
Police
5
community,
minutes.
police community, shared community spaces.
Like where? Let's give me.
The next phase would be that we go on to convert those ideas into projects. First, there would be voting on those projects, and the top vote getters would then be implemented by the city of Hartford. So there were 5 projects from last year that got the top votes and are being implemented as we speak. But we are continuing on and building on what we did last year, this year, by getting new ideas from the public, creating new projects for our next year, and the voting process will happen at the beginning of next year, which will probably be either late February or early March. Those projects will be worked on by departments within the city of Hartford and residents who volunteer to be on our action teams. And then the final phase would be implementation. And I encourage all Hartford residents, if you love your city, if you want to see it improve, if you want to have a voice in how it's improved, please come and be a part of Hartford Decides. We love to hear from you.
Then we have outdoor performance spaces so that the community can build a cultural background and some diversity and enjoy outdoor performances. Bus shelters. I think I have to duck for that one.
Yeah, that one. Bus
Yeah, the
shelter.
bus shelter, so people don't have to wait in the rain or in the snow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
To wait for the bus.
Bus stops.
Bus stops.
Yeah, there's some in town, but not all around, especially where they're needed, on Albany Avenue.
And
Bus stop shelters.
Bus stop shelters. City mobile showers and mobile laundry. That way, the homeless population of the city can actually get clean at night and wash their clothes. So that this addresses a bunch of different issues in the city. So
Service, health, hygiene. Is that 5?
Well, no, the green block was 5.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
You gotta
The
have
greenest
water for
block
that.
is about
a
competition
What kind of
that rewards the greenest block in Hartford with something.
So I'm gonna try to touch on the top one. You guys already spoke on the shelter buses thing. I mean the bus shelter system. That's good. I want to talk about the community garden first. This is a movement that will help with health reasons. You know, veggies is good for the body. It will create a revenue, and it'll be Harvard resident based, and it will generate a revenue for Harvard. The second thing I'm going to speak about is libraries and cultural centers. Education is key to success in life, period. Y'all spoke on digital science, so I'm not going to speak on that. Performance facilities and community spaces. That is a place where we can engage with one another and speak about different ways that we can help the community at large. And last but not least, I'm gonna have to touch on the recycling bins. Because, I mean, one, as a recycler, I make dollars that make sense to me. And it allows me to do certain things like pay my cell phone bill, like get something to eat. It's a nickel to you. Y'all see trash, I see cash. Right? That's my common slogan for what I do. I have no problem. I mean, I do wear gloves, but I have no problem with sticking my hand in the trash can and feed myself. And so, to help me and other fellow canners, as we call them, I would like to see a container where we can go and pick up some, so we're not sticking our hands in the trash can and generating different diseases and so on and so forth. So I believe that's 5. I can go all day, but we don't have enough time. So I'm gonna end on that note. I appreciate y'all listening.
Okay, terrific job.
Oh, baby, what's really going on? Oh, baby.
My name is J. Stan McCauley, and I do business as Light Source Productions. I provide professional services in the area of strategic video communications. First, what we do is we help you craft your message using what I call the rule of the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. We do event documentation, content acquisition, full-scale productions, editing, and of course distribution through our social media television network. And with social media, video is more important now than it has ever been. Whether you're talking big business, small business, nonprofit, church, or just an individual. Let's say you plan you're planning an event, a wedding, whatever the case may be. But let's say a big event, but no video. And you spent all this time, all these hours to put this event on, and maybe 100, 200 people attend the event. But more important than that is that thousands could attend by watching it on social media. But of course, you don't think about this until after the event is over. You can't afford not to capture it for social media. And despite what people think, I am affordable. Give me a call. Let's plan your next video project and share it with the world on my social media television network. I promise you that you will have the attention of one person, me.